Just Pinocchio on that fateful last day of Good Morning Britain. Apparently Camilla immediately contacted me to thank me on behalf of the firm. No, she didn't. Another lie. Complete lie. So Scobie prepared to lie about me, about these little things, which don't really amount to a row of beans. Why should we believe anything else he has to say? All he's doing is dragging the whole royal family through the mud all over again, reigniting these racism charges because he wants to sell books and make money. Well, fact. Well, Scobie gave another interview this morning, in which he again denied working with Meghan Markle, and he also denied ever using the names in any draft of his book.
I'm as frustrated as everyone else. I make it very clear.
Are you serious?
In this book that I, in every way possible, want to adhere to the laws surrounding this subject. It's why I've been very careful in how it's described in the book, and it's why I've never spoken about it beyond what I've said in the public domain before.
So that was a f***ing lie.
The reality is, though, is that this is information that is not privy just to me.
A liar. A barefaced liar. He wants us to believe that he only submitted a draft.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
In the English version, which never mentioned the names, but that somebody in the Netherlands got hold of it and added the names and added entire paragraph in one part of this.
What?
Into the manuscript before it went to the printers. A lethal saboteur. Who would do that? Have you ever met any author in history? Because I haven't.
No! God, please, no!
Who's had that happen to their manuscript? That on the way to the printers in a foreign country like the Netherlands, they got into the manuscript and changed it without the author knowing anything about it? No.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't pass what we call the smell test. Mr. Scobie stinks when it comes to the smell test. Now, he thinks I'm completely wrong to assume an earlier version of his book included the names and was sent for translation, only for his lawyers to take them out of the final
Are you serious?
Wait for it.
edition, which I think is the most likely explanation. It's therefore rather inconvenient for him that the Dutch translator has told reporters tonight that she'd only translated what was written down on the manuscript. She said the names of the royals were there in black and white. I didn't add them. I just did what I was paid to do, and that was translate the book from English into Dutch. Now, at this point, the deafening silence from Harry and Meghan becomes a little more than deafening. It becomes pretty shameful, because they usually race to condemn and denounce any press reports that we dislike, particularly if it involves any leaks from private correspondence. And Meghan Markle, ironically, was forced to admit that
Wait for it.
she colluded with Omid Scobie on his last book in a court action she took against a newspaper over private correspondence with her father. So why have they remained so silent about Omid Scobie's lies and also about his leaking of the private correspondence between Meghan Markle and King Charles that contained these names? Is it because they were involved in him getting this information? Is it because, I don't know, the Tooth Fairy came down and did it, or Santa Claus, or, for want of a better third example, Pinocchio? The public
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
can, of course, make their own minds up about all of this. It shouldn't take long. And the same goes for the baseless accusations of royal racism. Nobody, I repeat, really thinks King Charles or the Princess of Wales are racist. Fact. Nobody. That's part of the reason, actually, why I decided to put their names out there. It's called lancing the boil. It's called removing what has been a simmering threat deployed by Meghan and Harry
Okay.
and deployed by Omid Scobie as an unspoken threat. We've got these names, and if we don't get what we want, we're going to use them. Well, now they can't do that. I've been at the sharp end of British journalism for 30 years.
Are you serious?
I've seen royal crises come and go. I remember after Diana died, everybody predicted that was the end of the monarchy. But it wasn't. The monarchy survived, and it thrived with our great Queen Elizabeth II, and it's doing so again now with King Charles, who's doing a brilliant job.
Oh my God!
as the head of our great royal family and the head of the great monarchy. The only crisis I think that we're facing at the moment, this end game, as Omid Scobie puts it, is an end game for Omid Scobie. Fact. So let me start with you, Tessa. So, given you normally park yourself in the defending the indefensible about all things Sussex, what do you think of Scobie's late? Just when it seemed like they were getting off the radar, back comes Scobie.
Wait for it.
With a series of apparently damning revelations about all the royals, apart from the two in Montecito.
Yeah, from all the extracts that we've had access to and from the interviews that Omid's done in the likes of Paris Match, certainly he's
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
parked his tanks firmly on their lawn. Queen Victoria recommended against royals having friendships, and if Omid was once the Sussex's friend, I bet they could flick him off like slime right now, because the timing's terrible. And I feel that Omid is actually behind the curve on this. While you've moved on a bit, I think, I'll give you credit, and Harry and Meghan, to an extent, I think, after the sort of bomb of the Netflix and the book, have
Wait for it.
been really quite stum. Omid seems to be sort of stuck in the past.
Well, also, he's a liar. And I'll tell you how I know he's a liar, because he writes a bit about me in the book.
I know, I was going to ask you about that.
I got a copy of the book today, and I just checked, as you do. It's a digital copy. I did a little search. Up I come 3 or 4 times. And on one occasion, he states, as a fact, that I have regular phone conversations with Queen Camilla. For the record, I have never had a single phone conversation with Queen Camilla. Now, he says, as a fact, in his book, that we have regular phone conversations. That I know, personally know, is an absolute lie. He also says...
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
That when I said on Good Morning Britain that Meghan Markle was Princess Pinocchio, that apparently she reached out to me, Queen Camilla, to thank me for standing up for the firm.
Did she?
I had 0 contact with Queen Camilla.
What?
Around that time at all.
So you've got no embossed thank you notes from Camilla
nothing.
before she was a queen?
Nothing.
Is there any communication?
I did, however, as I said publicly at the time, have conversations with several other members of the royal family, but it wasn't Queen Camilla. So my point, it was come to Hillary. Hillary, I know personally that just the little bits about me are completely untrue. They're lies. So why should I believe any of this stuff?
Very good question.
Well, you're absolutely right to question it. I remember the time that you said that if she told you the weather, you wouldn't believe her. A few things here I would say. They say if you're going to lie, be big, go bold.
Fact.
He states things so factually that I think your average person, of course, they can't sift through things. They don't know that you know that these were mistruths and bold-faced lies. So if he goes so big, people will actually almost assume it's got to be true. I'll tell
You serious?
you something, though, Piers, that someone that nobody really is mentioning and no one's talking about, and that is Meghan Markle's dear friend, very close friend that she's posted online, whom she loves, and that is Marcus Anderson. Well, as we know,
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Omid Scobie has a very close relationship to him. Who knows how much of this is actually coming from him, and maybe that's the source of a lot of these lies as well, whom he's quoting.
It's a really good point, because we know because she went under oath in a court case. Meghan Markle had to admit she briefed an aide to then brief Scobie and the co-author. And what about this, Tessa? There's a point in the book where he talks about the contents of letters between...
Wait for it.
King Charles and Meghan Markle, in which 2 members of the royal household, I know who they supposedly are, right, these 2 people, let's call them royal household, that 2 of them had expressed these infamous concerns about the skin colour of baby Archie before he was born, right? But my question is, obviously he's not got that from King Charles.
No.
So he can only have got it from Meghan Markle or her friends or people she's told this to, right? So, you know...
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
It's 2 things, this book. One is blatant lies. Secondly, stuff he can only have got from Meghan Markle. Harry and Meghan's claims about supposed racists in the royal family have left a predictable and poisonous legacy for the last few years. Fact. We live in an age where grievances are given the benefit of the doubt, where the establishment is toxic by default, where my truth apparently means more than the truth. They knew the power their words would hold, and many people across the world took their words at face value. Now, almost 3 years on, Britain is still dealing with the fallout from this.
And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?